Brought to you by the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel. Glenn Clark, Zach Goodman, getting you ready for the NBA Finals, which get underway tonight out in San Francisco. Boston Celtics, Golden State Warriors. Game 1 tonight, Game 2 on Sunday. A little bit later on in the program, Brad Feinberg from BetPrep will check in with us, give us the Fein Lines. He is a basketball prop expert. This is where he makes his money, so we'll find out what props we should be betting during the course of the NBA Finals. And Andrew Stetka will join us in just a second with his Stets and Figures for the week. In fact, let's just go ahead and get right into it. Man that was spending actual time in his life watching football players golf yesterday, and apparently wasn't the only one. He's our pal Andrew Stetka. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Glenn. I spent a little bit of time. I have a remote. I was flipping the channel back and forth a little bit.
But I know.
I really wanted to see what the golf course looked like, because it's so wild that there's a golf course right there, like right off the Vegas Strip, like in the city. I was fascinated by that idea way more so than watching these goofballs, hit absolute hosel rockets into the crowd.
Look, I do a lot of embarrassing things, Andrew, in my life, and I just don't share them with everyone. I don't feel the need to announce to the world that I'm doing something that I should be heinously embarrassed about. Like, I don't.
If you can't be amused by Tom Brady dropping an F-bomb on the first tee and Charles Barkley absolutely egging him on to do it for 30 seconds, like that's what I was there for. That's about it.
There's lots of television. You know how many networks we have, Andrew. You know how many streaming services there are.
There's a lot of it out there.
There's so much content to be had.
Yeah. We weren't there for long. Don't worry.
I have so many things I want to say. All right, let's get into Stets and Figures. Unfortunately, because we've played musical producers over the last couple of weeks, I have no idea how you did the last time we did Stets and Figures. I have no clue.
I have some notes on it.
Good. I bet you did.
I hit 2 plus money bets last time out. We had the Celtics to win the series against the Heat at plus 125.
That was when they were down 3-2, correct? Or what? Where were they?
No, we're
going back.
They were down 1-0.
1-0 in that series.
They had lost game 1 in Miami. Obviously came back to win that series. That's why we were getting such good odds. And then we also hit the Champions League winner in Real Madrid, much to the chagrin of John Little Rock, defeating Liverpool.
That's right.
We hit that one at plus 135 as well. So couple of good winners there from last time. Unfortunately we were a week too early on Sam Burns at the PGA Championship. He went ahead and won last week instead.
Which means it's very similar, right? Like whatever the tournament. Well, I don't know what the tournament was that he won, and I have no clue what it was. All right, let's get into
the Colonial last week.
The Colonial. Yeah, it means almost exactly as much as winning the PGA Championship, I believe. I'm pretty sure the two are held in exactly the same regard. Let's get into this week's Stets and Figures. 4 particular bets that Andrew Stetka has just mapped out and done some math and said there is reason why this is a smart way for you to invest your money. Where are we going first this week, sir?
Well, let's start with the big one. The NBA Finals get underway tonight, as you know. Boston plus 135 to win the title over the Warriors, and that's actually the way that I'm leaning. I want the plus money on the odds here. I think that this series is way more even than the odds are giving it credit for. I think the Warriors, I think it's fair for them to be favored. They've got home court there, but I also think that they're going to be favored because there's going to be a lot more public money on the Warriors. They're obviously a team that over the last handful of years has made it to the finals more than Boston. But the key to this series is going to be the defense. And this is kind of what we talked about in the Eastern Conference Finals with the Celtics, being able to defensively shut down what the Heat are capable of. Now, obviously, the Warriors are a different animal.
I have so many things I want to say in response to what it is you're saying right now.
I know you do. Go ahead.
You're comparing the fact they were barely able to survive against a Heat team that has one offensive option to going up against a Warriors team that has 100.
Well, let's talk about the big offensive option for the Warriors. That's obviously Steph Curry. That's going to be the key to the series. Marcus Smart will probably it's going to be a team effort, but Marcus Smart will be the guy that needs to be up to that challenge. And if you look at the history between Boston and the Warriors in the kind of Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum era, Boston's actually done a pretty good job of limiting Curry in their matchups. They have a 92.96 contest rate in that era, and he tends to take fewer shots against Boston because he gets fewer good looks. Those are just some statistics that I dove in on. Boston's size is also something that's going to be able to present some problems at times for the Warriors. Look, I'm not saying that this is a lock by any stretch, but this is where I want my money. I want it on the plus side with the Celtics overall in the series. The Warriors, on the other hand, have not faced a defense like this in their path to the playoffs. That they got to face teams like the Mavericks, who are not there defensively like Boston is. Boston has the defense to be able to give the Warriors trouble. And Boston hasn't faced an offense like this, but they're also a little bit better offensively, Boston is, than they get credit for. I think that they're better offensively than Golden State is defensively.
I think Boston's a very good defensive team. I think that if Marcus Smart does a nice job on Steph Curry, that's wonderful. Steph Curry is one of the greatest passers in the history of basketball, and they couldn't have more other options for him to give the ball to in that situation. I'm not saying it's impossible the Celtics win the series because I'm not nuts. Like, of course the Celtics could win the series. They're a very good team, and I certainly undersold them for a very long time and did not give them the credit that they're due. I can't fathom thinking that it's smart money to bet on the Celtics. I just can't fathom. I don't think we are fully appreciating how insane it is that the Warriors could have 5 guys having off nights and still beat you. Like, it's nuts.
That's the thing. I don't think they can have 5 guys having off nights. I don't think they can have 3 guys having off nights, or 2 even, really. I think that they're, I think Boston has I think talking about underappreciation, I think that's where we actually need to look at Boston, and the fact that, going back to January, February, some of the underlying numbers were telling us that Boston was headed in this direction, and not a lot of people were really listening to it. People still wanted to talk about Philadelphia or the Nets for some ungodly reason, and,
Right.
and obviously people were somewhat overrating the Heat as well, even though they were the 1 seed. But Boston's kind of always been this steady presence since the turn of the calendar year.
All right, what's next? Next, Stets and Figure.
Let's go.
I do not support the first. I want to make that abundantly clear. I'm Glenn Clark,
I'm aware,
and I do not approve this message.
I know that it's not a lot of people are going to be on it, but that's obviously it's a zig when other people are zagging, if you will. Let's go to the hockey game tonight. We obviously saw all the goals in Game 1 of Colorado-Edmonton. That has pushed the over-under number to 7.5 for tonight's game. I still want the over at 7.5 at plus 114. There's really, really big questions about both of the goaltenders in this matchup. Edmonton's Mike Smith was on the ice this morning. It looks like he's going to be the starting goaltender for the Oilers tonight. He has not been good. And then on Colorado's side, Darcy Kemper was not at the morning skate this morning. He, of course, suffered the injury in Game 1. We'll kind of see what happens there. But we've seen what both these two teams will do offensively. I'm not quite expecting the 14-goal output that we got in Game 1.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm a little surprised it only went up by a half a goal. Like, I'm a little bit surprised by that.
Yeah.
But with the caveat being that it's still absolutely insane that we're talking about a playoff hockey game having a line at 7.5, right? Like,
there's no question about it. And I mean, the fact that you're also getting it at plus money. Yeah, give it to me. Give it to me at the plus 114
I'm with
number.
you. If I was betting it, I would. There's a part of me that almost wants to stay away from it. Like, if you hit it on Game 1, take your money and just sort of go from there. But if you're betting it, you 1,000% have to bet the over again. You have to. Like, this is just what the series is going to be.
I also think there's a little bit of value on the Oilers tonight at plus 146, but again, that's just a value play. With the Darcy Kemper injury is just a total mystery, and I still think goals will rain down in this series going forward.
All
so
right.
we're gonna go that route.
He is Andrew Stetka. These are his Stets and Figures here on this week's Weekend at Bookies, brought to you by the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel. Next,
let's take you to golf. I mentioned it earlier. I still do love the idea of, in a couple of weeks, we get the U.S. Open, Brookline Country Club in Massachusetts. I still do love the idea of 2 guys I gave you for the PGA Championship in Sam Burns and Cam Smith.
I just want to hang on a second. Zach, please cut the audio of Andrew Stetka saying, I still love the idea of 2 guys. All right, please isolate that and get it into a machine where I can just play it whenever
I'm on it.
necessary.
This is what we've needed.
Thank you, Zach.
I'm very excited.
Appreciate it. I love the idea of two guys. That's I just
You're
want to make sure.
welcome.
I want to hang on because sometimes we like to tweet out quotes from our guests. So I just want to make sure I send this one out appropriately. I love the idea of two guys. I believe is what verbatim. That was what Andrew Stetka said.
That is what he said.
I'm not misquoting him in any way.
Andrew,
I'm not going to back down from it.
All right. Just want to make sure.
Andrew, I want to know why you said in the comments earlier that Glenn is not a turtleneck guy.
What does that have to do with anything?
That was just a hunch.
Oh,
okay.
I'm definitely not.
I just wanted the story behind
He's
it.
1,000% right about it. I am definitely not a turtleneck.
Yeah,
Right.
I would give him like turtleneck on Glenn would be like plus 300, but the sweater vest I would be like a minus 120.
God, he knows me so well. God, I hate how well this man knows me. I'm not even a big sweater vest guy, but I definitely own multiple ones. And there was a
but if in the matchup of turtleneck versus sweater vest,
oh no,
that's where we're going,
you're
for sure.
1,000% right about that. I am way more likely to put on a sweater vest than I am to put on a turtleneck. Oh man, that is wild. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyhow,
Also, make sure you check your mentions on Twitter.
Sure. Well, those have been a dumpster fire over the last 24 hours, so I don't even want to.
What happened? What did you do?
Oh, the whole Grayson Rodriguez thing last night turned into just a horrendous trip down into Orioles Twitter for me. So we're avoiding them at all costs.
All right. Back to you and your guys. Back to you and the two guys.
I do like the idea of both Sam Burns and Cam Smith. Burns is 41-1. Smith is 16-1 at the U.S. Open in a couple weeks. Those are two names I threw out at the PGA Championship. But I'm going to give you two other names because these are guys that I want you to bet to win. And then when the odds come out for them to top 10, I want you to bet them as well. Matthew Fitzpatrick is the first one. The Englishman is 27-1 right now to win the U.S. Open in a couple of weeks. He's number one in strokes gained on the PGA Tour this season.
Do you think I don't know that?
27-1. You
think I'm not? You think I'm unaware of Matthew Fitzpatrick's? What is it? Stroke? He's a fan of the strokes. Loves them. Who doesn't love the Strokes? Big Julian Casablancas guy.
He's poised for a breakout though, and the other name is Cameron Young, rookie on tour. He's 33-1. Had a great week at the PGA Championship. He's in the top 10 in strokes gained. He's got 4 top 5s this year, and he's top 10 in scoring average as well. And he's also near the top of the leaderboard even this week already at the Memorial during the first round of play here this morning. So this is a guy that is on the come up. Cam Young at 33-1.
Okay.
So Matt Fitzpatrick and Cam Young are the two names. In addition to Burns and Cam Smith, golf's a weird sport, Glenn. You got to kind of sprinkle a little bit.
Do I know?
You got to allocate your capital in a couple of different ways. But I like all of those guys to top 10.
Right.
And sprinkle a little bit on them to win as well.
All right. So, but you're officially saying Fitzpatrick 27-1 and Young 33-1 to win the U.S. Open.
Yes.
Is the bet? Okay.
Yes, those are my guys for the U.S. Open in a couple weeks at Brookline.
All right, and the final one for this week.
The final one, we're going to go back to the well on soccer. You've
really done
soccer,
quite well with your soccer bets. Yes.
Yeah, we've not missed a soccer bet. This is going to be one. Obviously most of the club soccer season is done and dusted for the summer. But we do have a really, really big match coming up this Sunday in World Cup qualifying, and that is Wales taking on Ukraine. Ukraine, of course, defeated Scotland in a playoff yesterday. Really emotional victory for Ukraine, obviously, with everything going on in the world with the Ukrainians right now. Scotland doesn't really have much to write home about offensively, but Wales does, and that's why I'm going to take Wales to qualify over Ukraine at -114. You can get him at +165 to win in the 90 minutes. Of course, this is something that we've discussed with soccer. You can either bet the game within the 90 minutes or you can bet Wales to advance at -114. That's the way I'm going to go with it. The winner of this game, the team that advances, will get the last spot in Group B in the World Cup this winter, and will face the USA first in the World Cup. So this is kind of an important match for USA fans to pay attention to a little bit. The biggest reason I'm a fan of Wales over Ukraine is that Wales has more offensively by in a little guy named Gareth Bale. This could be Gareth Bale's last international game if they don't win. I think there's a lot to play for him. Ukraine also, there's a lot of emotions running from yesterday's win over Scotland. They've got to now turn around and do it on the weekend again. Wales is also a strong team at home. This game's going to be played in Cardiff, and they have not lost at home in over a year. So give me Wales to qualify for that final spot in Group B out of the World Cup over Ukraine this weekend. More of a head bet than a heart bet. Obviously, we all are supporting Ukraine right now, but I think that the smarter money is on Wales.
All right, very good. Those are the Stets and Figures for this week. At @Stetka on Twitter is how you follow him. John Proctor wants to know if you would like a revenge quiz opportunity against me next Thursday.
Let's see. Yeah, I think I can do that.
All right. We'll look into that because I'm still not even sure if my Zoom is working yet, but we'll figure out if we can make that possible.
Glenn, I regret to inform you.
Yeah. What?
That in your tweet you tagged Anna Stetka.
What?
Anna Stetka. So some poor girl named Anna Stetka.
Oh, it does say Stetka, not Stetka.
Loves the idea of two guys. Loves the idea of two guys.
Oh, now I might end up getting. Oh boy, that could end up being very bad. I might get a.
I regret to inform you.
Might turn into a lawsuit of some sort. Oh no! I want to make sure I fix that about as quickly as possible. All right, love you, buddy. Appreciate you. We'll talk to you
later. Cheers.
It's Andrew Stetka. Joining us for Stets and Figures. Oh no! Here I am trying to send a funny tweet while I'm doing a show. I end up I defame a poor girl in the process.
Well, she has 0 followers, so I'm not really sure people are going to be too concerned. But
we should be
still funny.
Oh, thank you for catching that. Oh my! All right, Stets and Figures here on Weekend at Bookies, brought to you by the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel. When we come back in, we will zero in on props betting for the NBA Finals, which get underway tonight. Our buddy Brad Feinberg joins us next. It is Weekend at Bookies.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, Luke Jackson profiles Orioles catcher Adley Rutschman, diving into where his passion for baseball and for catching comes from and how he uses that passion to elevate those around him in the Orioles organization. Also inside, Bo Smolka takes a look at how the Ravens' 2021 draft picks can make progress in year 2, and Glenn Clark offers a very unique tribute to former rival Mike Krzyzewski that all Maryland fans can appreciate. Press Box is available for free at over 500 area locations, including 60 Royal Farm stores, and you can always find the entire edition, as well as the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps at PressBoxOnline.com.
That first sip. That first bite. Start your day off right with a delicious breakfast at Royal Farms. Choose from a fantastic selection of fresh Royal Farms breakfast sandwiches and top it off with a rich hot cup of the freshest coffee in the world. At Royal Farms, breakfast is available day and night. It's the freshest breakfast in the world. Real fresh, real fast. Royal Farms.
Sports betting has come to Maryland, and we're ready to help you win some money. Tune in for Simply the Bets every Tuesday morning at 11:40. Fanduel Sportsbook assistant GM Leon Twyman and VSiN's Aaron Oster join the guys every week to give you all of the info you need and offer you a few winners. And every other Thursday at 11:40, tune in for Weekend at Bookies as Andrew Stetka and Alloy Sports' Brad Kronthal help make you some money for the weekend. So come win some money with us on Simply the Bets every Tuesday and Weekend at Bookies every other Thursday, brought to you by the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. Listen at PressBoxOnline.com/radio. Watch at YouTube.com/PressBoxOnline.
Baseball is back, and so is the spring seasonal menu at Glory Days Grill. Start with the opener, flash-fried pork belly with our popular Korean No. 2 sauce, and take a bite out of the Crunch Burger, topped with home run sauce, white American cheese, and house-made chips. It also features irresistible options like a baseball-cut sirloin with blue cheese, grilled shrimp with garlic butter, and a strawberry salmon salad. And then there's the closer, the Cracker Jack Sundae with a waffle, ice cream, and Cracker Jack. This menu will be gone at your neighborhood Glory Days Grill. GloryDaysGrill.com to find out more. Great food, good sports.
Don't forget that full episodes of the show are available for free on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and YouTube. But warning, you get what you pay for. You're listening to Glenn Clark Radio.
Actually, you're listening to Weekend at Bookies today as we get ready for the start of the NBA Finals tonight. Just going to go over a couple things odds-wise with you. Again, reserve your spot if you want to be there for tonight and Game 1 or for Sunday and Game 2 in the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel. What I need you to do is email events@sportssocialmd.com. These the biggest crowds that they get in the FanDuel Sportsbook are for football games and basketball games. So they are expecting big crowds tonight and on Sunday. So if you were hoping to bring a group out and make sure you have your own table, or you wanted a section of reclining chairs in the sportsbook tonight, you need to email them, events@sportssocialmd.com, to make sure that we can guarantee those spots. There's always room. There's always room for everybody to come out. But if you've got a group and you specifically want your own table, or you want a section of reclining chairs, I say it's actually football, basketball, and fights. Those are the biggest crowds so far in the FanDuel Sportsbook. So for tonight, for Sunday night and Game 2, make sure you email events@sportssocialmd.com in order to reserve your spot for the NBA Finals. Again, the series gets underway tonight out in San Francisco. Warriors hosting the Celtics for Games 1 and 2. Right now, for tonight, Warriors -172, Celtics +144. And for the series as a whole, Warriors -160, Celtics +135. Steph Curry, the favorite to be in the Finals MVP, at -115. So that's what you need to know ahead of Game 1 tonight. This man is a bit of a basketball expert, and particularly a props expert. And with so many props available for us during the course of the NBA Finals, I'm hoping that he can help me make some money. He is our buddy from BetPrep. He is Mr. Brad Feinberg, and he's back with us here on Weekend at Bookies. Brad, it's Glenn. What's going on, man? How are you?
Great, Glenn. Great to be on. Thank you so much for having me.
Before we dive into the props, just give me your thumbnail on the series as a whole. I know everybody's always looking to make money, and so the Celtics are pretty good. They're dogs. How do you see the series as a whole as far as betting is concerned?
You know, it's funny. I think this is a very well-matched series. I think it's going to be, I know we've had a lot of blowouts in these NBA playoffs at this point, but I think this series is going to be extremely tight. One of my favorite bets, actually, and you can lay -205, which I think actually is a lot of value, is taking over 5.5 games.
Okay.
I would be stunned if this series went 4 or 5 games. It would really shock me. I think both these teams are extremely well matched, and I would be shocked if either team was able to win this series in 4 or 5 games. I love over 5.5 games in a series. I think it's going to be probably a 7-game series. I think it's very, very tight. Lean Golden State to win in a close one, but again, I did not personally bet the series other than I bet over 5.5 games.
Okay, that's interesting. And by the way, I think I'm with you on that. I don't think this is one that wraps up quickly either. So I do.
No,
like
I would be really surprised. These teams they're too close.
Would you be willing to go as ballsy as Celtics to cover a 1.5 game series spread at minus? Oh boy, actually. Yeah, -184. Would you be that ballsy?
No,
okay.
No, that's not where I would go on that. I'd much rather, if I'm going to lay that price, I would rather bet either team can win in 6 games.
Yeah.
Because to me, I think Golden State can win in 4-2. I do.
All right.
But I think it's going to be a close series. I think it's going to be very, very, very evenly matched. I think Golden State does win a close series, but again, I do like over 5.5 games very much.
All right,
more.
I'm going to run one more by you just because it's available. The 6 games exactly is +190 in the FanDuel book.
Yeah, see, but certainly if you do the math on that, and you could probably, I think it's around +180 or 175 for 7 games or something like that. The math on it is far better just to lay -205
all right.
as opposed to betting both those individually.
You're buying both tickets at that point, essentially.
Yes.
All right, very good. So let's get into props. Let's get into starting tonight, right? Like, give me some of the things that jump out at you and you say, you should be paying attention to this. There's a real chance for you to make some money on these props.
Yeah, one of my favorite derivative bets here, Glenn, is, look, Steph Curry, okay? His over-under for assists is, he averages 6.2 assists for the year. So you're like, okay, let's make him 1.5 assists for every single quarter. Makes sense, right? No, it does not make sense, and let me explain myself why. Steph Curry plays the first 12 minutes of the first quarter and the third quarter, and he usually plays the last 6 minutes of the second quarter and the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. So by taking over 1.5 assists in the first quarter, I laid $1.30 in juice, but to me it was very well worth it. I'm getting him 12 minutes versus he only plays 18 minutes per half, but I'm getting the entire quarter for Steph Curry. So Steph Curry usually, theoretically, probably should get 2 assists in the first quarter and 1 assist in the second. So to me, that's a far better bet. That line is too light in the first quarter, and because of the reasons I said, the minutes really go in your favor. Marcus Smart, you can look all this up on BetPrep. Marcus Smart has gone over 3.5 rebounds 8 straight games. So to me, again, he's been getting the extra minutes, Glenn. I like Marcus Smart over 3.5 rebounds. And I will say Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum steals. He's gone under 1.5 steals 74% of the games this year.
Wow.
Okay, even with the extra minutes he's gotten in the playoffs, 13 of 18, he's gotten 1 or less steals. To me, a lot of value taking that under. I laid a price, laid minus 165, but to me, this is at least just, close to a 70% winning bet, even factoring in the extra minutes for Jason Tatum.
Wow, I had no idea. I mean, clearly he doesn't do it enough for me to be paying attention to the steals that Jason Tatum is getting.
Exactly. You're looking at everything else. You're looking at the points and what's scored. Another interesting prop, I will say this. Curry averaged 6.2 assists this year. Draymond Green averaged 6.3 assists. They made Curry to lead the leading assister in the series at plus 280, plus 130. I like both those guys over Marcus Smart or Jason Tatum. So, but I think there's value in taking Curry in that him and Green were basically dead even throughout the year. Their assists for all the games are the same. So I actually think there's value in taking Steph Curry to lead the postseason, in the finals and assists, plus 280, because to me, him and Green are close to 50-50. I think we're getting a lot of extra value there.
He is our buddy, Brad Feinberg from BetPrep, and he's with us here on Weekend at Bookies. Brad, are there any other series props that you like? I don't know how dangerous it is to be betting series props besides the one you brought up.
Yeah, listen, in terms of the series props, the only one that Glenn, I like, and I told you for the reasons I said, was the over the 5.5 games. There's another interesting prop.
I was thinking like player props for the series.
Well, there's an interesting one that was up, at Fanduel, which the limits were not high, but the math on it was absolutely spectacular. Again, all this is on BetPrep site. Will Draymond Green get 5 assists per game in every game of the finals? Now, here's the thing. This year, Draymond Green was 83% going over 4.5 assists, okay? But then he also had, if you remember, Glenn, some games where he didn't get many minutes because he was injured for a long time, and they were bringing him back slowly. But when you go to his last 100 games, he's 87-13 over 4.5 assists. So to figure out what the right math on that is, you basically take, let's call it, between 83 and 87%, let's call it 85. If you times 0.85, even if it's a 7-game series, okay, worst case scenario, he should be maybe around plus 265 to do that. You can get 5-1 on Draymond Green to get 5+ assists in every game in the series. And if it's a 6-game series, he should only be 2-1 odds. So a tremendous value. You should say, yes, Draymond Green gets 5+ assists in every game in the series. You're getting double what the true odds should be.
Oh, man, I love that. That's the type.
Great math play. It's phenomenal. It's you could bet that every single day of your life. Not going to say you'd be Bill Gates, but you'd be a wealthy man because you could never lose.
Can I run a couple tickets that I bought by
Absolutely.
Just tell me. So they throw out they sort of create some parlays to try to entice you, and I'm a mark. Like I'm the guy. I'm happy to buy these tickets. So I definitely bought this one. Curry to average 25 points per game, and Golden State wins the series at plus 145.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. I actually did bet, to be honest, I did take Steph Curry under 27.5 points in Game 1, and I'll tell you why. It's funny. He's actually gone under that 27.5 number 30 of his last 50 games, okay, and he's going against, theoretically, one of the best defensive teams in the NBA in Boston and one of the best defensive players in Marcus Smart. I would personally rather have taken just Golden State. I would rather have taken Steph Curry to win MVP. Plus 100 as opposed to doing what you said, because to me, Curry could average 24 points a game and easily win series MVP. And so to me, that would be something I would have preferred over the bet that you made. Do I think your bet will win? Yeah, I do, but I think there was better ways to attack that. I prefer the MVP bet over what you did.
So, literally the reason why I did it is because I was looking when I was looking at Curry, it was minus 115 to win MVP. So
then that's horrible. That's horrible.
I was doing the math of, well, if he's going to be MVP, it's totally possible he scores 25 points a game. So
absolutely.
The math that I did to get to that was I just like those odds better than I like Curry to be MVP at -115.
Totally get it.
The other one, because it's out there, I did buy both Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole MVP tickets. Thompson at 22-1, Poole at 46-1.
Yeah, look, I think the Poole bet would be extremely difficult to win. His minutes have actually gone down a little bit recently, Glenn.
The only thing I'm doing is if Marcus Smart has a strong series against Steph Curry, where's the offense coming from?
Right? Where's it going to come from? The Klay one I could see. The Klay one to me is the more realistic, winning wager of the two. I'd rather have him at 22 than I'd rather have Poole at 46. I know Marcus Smart was around 45-1 odds also. Someone asked me that earlier on the show. And look, again, do I think he wins at 1 in 46 times? Yeah, maybe right around there. But again, I think the safest bet, if you're looking to take Golden State, I would just stick with Steph Curry. I always say in life, it's okay to win a wager, right?
Yeah.
I know people love to try to win like these 50-1 long shots. I get it. It's fun. But usually they're not offering you fair odds, fair math on it. To me, again, will Klay Thompson win it? It's certainly possible. But I will say this, Steph is yet to win a Finals MVP. Durant won it twice. Iguodala won it controversially the other year.
Yeah.
So to me, I think if it's, the same tie goes to the runner, I think if it's close, I think Curry will get it.
All right, and the last one that I bought a ticket on, Curry to make at least 3 threes in every game of the series at +300.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'd have to do the math on that, and and it's what's great. I keep saying it, and I mean it. Like I use BetPrep every single day for hours every single day. It's great. You could just put in Steph Curry's last 80 games, over 2.5 threes. What percent has he done that? Has he done it 75% of the time? I don't know. And then you could just do the math on that. Let's say he's done it 75% of the time. If you just take 0.75 times 0.75 times 0.75,
right,
and however many games, that'll let you know if you're getting a fair mathematical price or not. But yeah, I do expect Curry to. Certainly in every individual game, get those 3 assists, get those 3 threes per game.
He has had, for the record, just in the playoffs alone, 3 games where he didn't have 3 threes. So that's that's why you're getting.
That's why you're getting
odds.
the 3-1 odds.
Exactly right. That's why you're getting those odds. All right, let's talk more about BetPrep. What you were just saying about it's so overwhelming. I mean, it's incredible how much data is available for free for you.
It's a tremendous site. I love it.
Tell me more about it.
Yeah, listen, again, and I mean that, there was an old commercial. I don't know if you remember Victor Kayem. He goes, I like the company so much I bought it, Remington Shavers back in the day, dating myself here. But look, BetPrep, I work for the company, but I cannot tell you, changed my life. No exaggeration. Like I do these prop bets every single day. It's how I make my money in this world. And it saved me hours and hours of research, Glenn. You could put in every single player, specific matchup against a specific player, how you can go 66 games, 11 games, 1 game, 78 games, however many games you want to go back for every stat, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, and I cannot say enough great things about it. Really consolidates your life, makes things a lot easier, and it gives you a better chance to be a winning gambler.
It's incredible, and you can just go to right now, if you want to follow on Twitter, @BetPrepUS in order to find out more. Brad, I know you're on Twitter @Brad's Best Bets, correct?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes.
Give him a follow there. Love BetPrep, BetPrep.com. Brad Feinberg, always appreciate you, man. Thank you for taking a
Thanks for having me on, my friend. I appreciate you. Take care.
Brad Feinberg up in Philly, getting us ready for the NBA Finals tonight. Kind of throwing some cold water on me, and I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. I'm giving away some of the bets that we'll be handing out if you follow Live Casino and Hotel on social media. These are some of the bets that we like. I am all over. I don't have any bet that involves the Celtics in any way. I'm not. Again, I know it's not impossible. I know it's not impossible.
Not on the Celtics.
Kevin Garnett told us anything is possible.
You got to trust KG.
He's not playing in this series.
He's
not
not
sure
playing.
if you're aware. Plus, he hit that amazing parlay. He hit that incredible parlay in Uncut Gems. So obviously, we know.
Incredible movie. Yeah.
He hit. He had to win the opening tip, right? Well, I trying to remember what all was part of the parlay.
Yeah,
he won the opening tip. Oh my God!
I just remember so much screaming.
There was a lot of screaming.
It's about.
It was a movie you were ready to have it be over. You were just ready to have it be over.
I was.
Yep. It was time. It's a heavy watch.
Adam Sandler, by the way, Kimmel tonight.
Thank you for that reminder. Thank you for that reminder. I will be doing anything else. All right, I will watch.
Maybe we'll talk about Uncut
I'll
Gems.
watch quarterbacks play golf before I choose to watch
Wow,
that.
that's bold.
Yep, that's where I am. Some of the other parlays that are available for the NBA Finals right now in the Fanduel Sportsbook. If you want to go the Boston route, Jason Tatum to score 40-plus points in any game in the series, and Boston wins, plus 500. The Steph Curry line to score 40-plus points in any game in the series, and the Warriors win, plus 340. Klay Thompson to make 8 or more threes in any of the games, and the Warriors win the series, 11-1. So if you think there's a Klay game in there where he just goes nuts, it's 11-1.
I think it's harder for that than in previous years because of, they've always had amazing talent on the team, but this almost feels like the best team they've ever had.
But yet, you just, for whatever reason, on nights where it's Klay's night, they know, they keep giving him the ball. When they know it's a Klay night.
Yeah, it's just there's so much supporting cast around him.
I hear you.
That it's hard to think he'll get, make 8 threes in a single game. That's a lot.
I'm trying to pull up. Let me pull up his game. There's a reason why you're getting the odds that you're getting on it. He made 8 threes in Game 5 against Dallas. He made 8 threes in Game 6 against Memphis. Of course, that's the Game 6 Klay thing. So he's done it twice in the postseason where he's made 8 threes. He's also had, in the Denver series, he had a 7-3 game and he had a 6-3 game in that series. So just some nights, it's Klay night. And when it is, it just feels like in Warriors history, everyone's known.
And you've got multiple games here you're betting on, so it's not like you're only putting your
got to do it.
basket.
Got to do it once. Got to do it once during the series, and the Warriors have to win the series. If you parlay those two things together, Klay Thompson making 8 threes in any game, and the Warriors winning the series, 11-1 is what it pays out. Boy, I'm tempted to buy a lot of these tickets. I really am tempted to buy so many of these tickets. I mentioned that if Curry averages 25 points per game, if he scores 40 points in a game, I said at plus 340. If Jordan Poole were to score 30 points in any game in the series, again, if you think Marcus Smart is going to in any way take away Steph Curry, Jordan Poole scores 30 points in any game in the series and the Warriors win, 12-1. That pays off. All those available right now in the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel. Get there tonight for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Again, email events@sportssocialmd.com in order to make your reservation for your group. That'll do it for Weekend at Bookies. We'll be back on Tuesday for the next Simply